Eddie Kingston said he's not happy in AEW and wants to speak to the AEW upper management to resolve his issues. Chris Jericho reveals he has zero interest in rejoining WWE. Vickie Guerrero is set to leave AEW upon the expiration of her contract, but where is she going to go? We've got more details on where Guerrero could be headed next. Kenny Omega reveals he underwent multiple surgeries during his All Elite Wrestling hiatus. QTV has been trademarked by AEW, but what's it for? Well, apparently it could be to do with a new talk show segment coming to AEW television. Shibata is going to be wrestling for Ring of Honor, but not New Japan Pro Wrestling. Why is that the case? Britt Baker reveals that the push she received in her early AEW career maybe came too soon for her. The Elite reflect on the anniversary of their historic tag team match at Revolution in 2020. Billy Starks, has she been offered an AEW contract? Tay Melo reveals that she has not been cleared by AEW, and Keith Lee hopes to make history in AEW. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling. Let's start off talking about Eddie Kingston and possible unhappiness backstage when it comes to the AEW star. Now, Eddie Kingston has earned a reputation as one of the most outspoken professional wrestlers in the industry today. All Elite Wrestling, of course, recently announced that the face of the Revolution ladder match was being moved from the pay-per-view to this coming Wednesday, tonight's AEW Dynamite from San Francisco, California. The bout will feature Sammy Guevara, Action Andretti, Powerhouse Hobbs, A.R. Fox, Konosuke Takeshita, Ortiz, Commander, and Eddie Kingston. The winner will get a shot at the TNT Championship following AEW Revolution. In an interview with Sacktown Sports 1140, Kingston detailed why he has been scheduled for the match. He said, quote, "I may not be at Sacramento though. It all depends how certain things go in the locker room with the office, especially with my match that's coming up on Wednesday. Not really happy about it." Yeah, so we have to talk. Me, and I'm not going to say who's the office, everybody knows about Tony, but there are others. We all got to get together and talk. I want to go everywhere, but I also, I got to be a businessman and put my foot down at some point in a calm manner. That's why I'm still trying to learn a professional manner. Now, what issues Kingston is referring to remains currently unknown, but he has recently called out AEW management. With Eddie, of course, this may all be part of an elaborate work as well. Following the comments directed to AEW World Champion MJF, the Mad King called out Tony Khan for favoring Maxwell Jacob Friedman. One thing's for certain, though, it looks like he's going to be wrestling at the Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor event in March because, of course, he confronted Cesaro, also known as Claudio Castagnoli, in Ring of Honor, the Ring of Honor World Champion, at the recent set of television taping. So any issues he has with AEW management, whether that will bleed over to his Ring of Honor commitments, we'll have to wait and see. Now, what about Chris Jericho? Could he ever be interested in returning to WWE? Well, apparently not. Of course, Chris Jericho joined AEW in January 2019 following his departure from WWE in 2018 and his subsequent return to New Japan Pro Wrestling. He had previously stated that the decision to move his match against Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 33 from the main event to the second on the show as a reason behind his decision to leave the company. Now Jericho has spoken about whether he would return to WWE, and it's not good news if you're a WWE fan. Speaking to the Daily Star, Jericho was asked about finishing his career in AEW, saying, quote, "I don't see why it wouldn't be. I don't hold a torch for WWE. To me, that's not the place to be. AEW is the place to be. It really is. I've been in WWE. I know how it works. The way they work that way. I don't care if Vince is there, Hunter is there, or whoever is there. They have a way of doing things. I was there for 20 years and I was pretty good at it." He would compare what WWE and AEW do, stating, quote, "I like the way we do things at AEW better, so I don't know why I wouldn't want to finish my career in AEW. I never thought I wouldn't finish my career with WWE, but things happened, and I was just like, I want to go to Japan and do this match, and it opened up a whole new world for me. It was like, oh my gosh, this is the fun side of wrestling again." Addressing the possibility of a WWE return, Jericho added, "Business is business, and there's always ups and downs, but I have zero interest in ever going back to WWE. That's not out of bitterness or anger. I love Vince, and I love Hunter and all the people there. But I just really dig AEW, and I have a stake in the game. I came here right out of the gate. I was the guy. Besides Jim Ross, there was nobody that had really been on television on a national basis other than me. I take great pride in that. I started here. Why would I want to walk away? There's so much more we can do. The sense of accomplishment is massive." So Jericho seemingly saying he has no interest in going to WWE, but what does he actually do now in AEW? Of course, he's still an active competitor in the ring, but he recently signed a new contract with AEW that gave him more of a backstage role in the company. Now, speaking to the Daily Star once again, he was asked about what he does backstage to help others, and he said, quote, "Do I help with backstage pre-tapes? Absolutely. I probably do 2 or 3 of those a night, and maybe that's kind of where I go to. I don't really see myself as an agent. I'm more of an in front of the camera kind of guy, so we'll see." He would then go on to discuss his future in wrestling, saying, quote, "I don't know what the future of me in wrestling is. I could quit tomorrow, or I could quit in 6 years. I don't know. I'll worry about that when it happens. Right now, I do enjoy the backstage role of helping guys and girls out with their interviews and promos." His role backstage isn't just a few hours here or there either, with Jericho going on to say, quote, "There's a lot of stuff I do backstage at AEW. When we have Dynamite, I get there at 1 and leave at 11 or 12. It's non-stop all the time. That's fun for me, but to exclusively do just that, I don't know. I still like being part of the show." Juggling his backstage role and in-ring position, Jericho contemplating whether he sees gold in his future, concluding, quote, "Do I want to be world champion? If you don't, you shouldn't be in the business. But do I need to be? Probably not. I don't really need a bout to be in the main event, so long as I can continue to tell the stories that grow the show, the talent, and me. I just think I'm really happy with what we're doing. My biggest goal is to see us continue to build this amazing universe." So Jericho opening up a bit there about what his role is backstage in AEW as well. Now, we spoke yesterday about Vickie Guerrero leaving AEW, and a new report has revealed an update on Vickie Guerrero following the AEW departure news. In July 2020, Guerrero debuted in All Elite Wrestling as the manager of former AEW Women's World Champion Nyla Rose. She has since worked with Andrade El Idolo and Marina Shafir. As previously reported, Guerrero is set to finish up her run with AEW after agreeing with the company not to renew her contract that is set to expire in July. According to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, they have provided an update on Vickie's status following the news, noting that she has had an opportunity presented by a shopping network to be involved with that. Vickie Guerrero has been heavily involved on AEW Heels, which is a fan community for women who love wrestling set up by the promotion. Guerrero has also helped contribute to a number of AEW's digital projects. She was also the special guest on AEW Unrestricted podcast just last week. Of course, if we get any more information about this shopping network, we'll let you know, but that seemingly is where Guerrero is going to go next. Now, Kenny Omega has opened up on the multiple surgeries that he had during his hiatus. Of course, he took his hiatus from AEW between November 2021 and August 2022, and now has revealed the issues he had fixed. Speaking to Renee Paquette on the sessions, the former AEW World Champion revealed, quote, "I had to get both my knees done, I had to get a shoulder done, I had to get my septum fixed, and then I did a stomach hernia, so there's a lot. So knowing that I had to get all of those things done, I felt like they were more minor surgeries, it felt like, but I ended up being out for like 8 months. But I felt the company was in a fantastic position, and I felt that the story that I was able to tell with Hangman was one that I was very proud of. I felt that people were behind him. I was happy that we were moving forward in a direction that didn't necessarily require me. I felt that now is a good time to get this stuff taken care of." Omega, of course, would return to AEW in August of last year and go on to become the inaugural AEW World Trios champions as part of the Elite with the Young Bucks. But the incident with CM Punk after the All Out post-show media scrum would see Omega, along with the Young Bucks and CM Punk and other members of the AEW roster, suspended. He did recently discuss that in the same interview with Renee Paquette on the sessions. We spoke about that yesterday in yesterday's AEW news video, so be sure to check that out as well. Now, continuing in this interview, is actually quite interesting because despite having many praiseworthy matches throughout his career, Omega is steadfast in his awareness that he's not the only factor at play in any encounter. Speaking on the sessions with Renee Paquette, Omega revealed what he doesn't like to hear, saying, quote, "Don't ever say, Kenny, you had the greatest match of all time. I was just part of it. I had an opponent, a great crowd, a great ring. I had a good entrance. My opponent had a good entrance. The referee was selling the counts. It's a team effort." As I mentioned, he also spoke about rumors of a WWE possible move in the interview. We spoke about that earlier today, in addition to a variety of topics which we've covered in a variety of videos, so be sure to check that out. But certainly interesting just to see the scope of how many surgeries Kenny Omega had whilst he was away from AEW. This is a strange one, and I'm not really sure where this one is particularly going, but we may have a new indication about it. AEW has filed a trademark for a potential new talk show segment. As previously reported, AEW's official Twitter account shared a video promising that QTV is coming soon to AEW Dark. According to a US PTO filing, All Elite Wrestling has trademarked QTV. The filing reads, quote, QTV trademark registration is intended to cover the categories of entertainment in the nature of wrestling contests, entertainment services, namely live appearances by a professional wrestler, entertainment services, namely televised appearances by a professional wrestler, entertainment services, namely wrestling exhibits and performances by a professional wrestler and entertainer. Now, fans have naturally speculated this could be teasing a new segment for QT Marshall. One fan hinted on Twitter that they believe it will lead to Marshall and the factory being revamped in Ring of Honor. Of course, it remains to be seen for what the segment will be a part of now, but given QT Marshall, QTV, it makes sense that it would be something involving him. Could be a talk show, could be something else. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. This is a really fascinating story. A new report has revealed a backstage update on Katsuyori Shibata wrestling for Ring of Honor and not New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, as previously reported, Ring of Honor held their first set of television tapings over the past weekend, with various matches being set up for the upcoming Supercard of Honor event. One of the biggest notes coming out of the tapings was Ring of Honor Pure Champion Wheeler Yuta calling out New Japan Pro Wrestling legend and New Japan Pro Wrestling LA Dojo trainer Katsuyori Shibata to seemingly set up a Pure Championship match. Shibata's inclusion in a Ring of Honor match has understandably led fans wondering why Shibata isn't currently wrestling for New Japan Pro Wrestling. He previously worked full-time for the promotion before suffering a life-threatening head injury in 2017 and continues to work as a trainer. However, he has returned to occasionally wrestling. Of course, he wrestled Orange Cassidy on an episode of Rampage last year. On Tuesday's edition of Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer reported that Shibata wasn't being used in New Japan because his last match in the company back at Wrestle Kingdom 16. In January 2022, Shibata forced his protege Ren Narita on night one of Wrestle Kingdom, his protege Ren Narita on night one of Wrestle Kingdom 16. The bout was originally billed as an exhibition match, but the two men worked a standard New Japan match, similar to Shibata's return match with Zack Sabre Jr. It was later reported that Shibata changed the rules of the match on the fly, and New Japan officials backstage had freaked out over the decision, and guess maybe there's an issue of trust when it comes to Shibata wrestling for New Japan, but not so much for AEW, who are happy to have him wrestle, I guess, for Ring of Honor moving forward. Britt Baker, of course, is one of, if not the biggest women's star in AEW, and back in 2019 when AEW was first announced, the first woman signed to the promotion was none other than Britt Baker. In the 4 years since, Baker has become the most accomplished and decorated female star in the company. She's a former AEW Women's World Champion and the inaugural female winner of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Speaking with Fox Sports Australia, Baker revealed that she may have been thrust into the spotlight early in relation to the length of her wrestling career. She said, quote, "When I first started with AEW, my biggest weakness was just a lack of experience in wrestling, in promos, in everything. Did I get this opportunity maybe a little bit too soon? Yes, but I also think that's my greatest strength, that I was given this opportunity too soon because it was a very sink or swim environment, and it forced me to become the star of the women's division because I needed to be." Now, having debuted only in 2015, Britt Baker only had 4 years of experience prior to her signing with All Elite Wrestling. She had to learn and grow before the fans' eyes, but is truly one of the biggest homegrown stars for the promotion since its inception nearly 4 years ago, or over 4 years ago at this point. Now, one of the greatest matches, I suppose, in AEW history was the Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page at Revolution 2020. At the event, Kenny Omega and Hangman Page defended the AEW World Tag Team Championships against the Young Bucks in a critically acclaimed and classic encounter. The match has been widely regarded as one of the greatest tag team bouts ever and the best tag team match certainly in the company's history. This past week marked 3 years since the legendary contest, so the Elites have taken to social media to reflect on the anniversary of the match. On Tuesday, the Young Bucks took to Twitter to commemorate the iconic bout, writing, quote, "Our vision of what wrestling can be. We'll always look back fondly at the early years. Happy 3-year anniversary." Meanwhile, Kenny Omega took a different route in being amazed by how much time had passed since the classic. He tweeted, quote, "Only 3 years? Yeesh." The Elite, of course, are set to defend their World Trios Championships against the House of Black at Revolution this Sunday. It'll be interesting to see again if we see Hangman Page involved. He's got a match against Jon Moxley, but has teased reuniting with the Elite in recent weeks. Is Billie Starkz signed with AEW? Well, we've kind of got a bit of an update on that. Over the years, of course, several independent stars have appeared on AEW Dark and Dark Elevation as a platform to eventually sign a contract with the promotion. Names such as former AEW World Tag Team Champions The Acclaimed, Willow Nightingale and Action Andretti all got their starts on Dark. In recent weeks, popular women's independent wrestler Billie Starkz has been in action at the tapings, facing names such as the aforementioned Britt Baker, Toni Storm, and Yuka Sakazaki. Billie was also in action at the Ring of Honor television tapings at Universal Studios last weekend, leading to a lot of speculation that she could be under an agreement with the company. AEW recently offered a contract to Dark standout Ashley D'Amboise, leading many to wonder if Starkz was also offered a deal. Per Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, despite the recent appearances, Starkz is still currently a free agent. The report does note that there have been more tiered AEW signings made recently, but the details on who or what they are not yet currently known. So, as of right now, Billie Starkz is not under an AEW contract, but I suppose that could change in the future. Now, Tay Melo is currently dealing with an injury. Earlier this week, of course, AEW star Anna Jay revealed that she suffered an injury during the street fight against Willow Nightingale and Ruby Soho on AEW Rampage on January 13. Neither Anna or her partner Tay Melo have wrestled since the match. We now know more about what has kept Tay away from the ring. Speaking to Elite POV, Melo detailed a protrusion in her back that she has been dealing with for more than 10 years and how it affected her ahead of the street fight. She said, quote, "I have a protrusion on my back, so it's something that I've been dealing with for more than 10 years by now. I know how to go about it. Before the match, I started feeling it a little bit, and the doctors in AEW, they're super good. I told them, they helped me see if I was okay to do it. They asked me and I was like, I'm going to do it, let's go. I'll never say no. Let me tell you, unless I'm really dying." I was like, I'm in pain. I knew I was in pain. The day before, let me tell you, I couldn't walk. At the airport. The walk was so long, we had to get a wheelchair for me because I was not able to walk for too long. It was really bad. Tay then explained that she's not currently cleared for action, but is hoping to be cleared in the next couple of weeks. She said, quote, "It was getting better. The doctors helped me a little bit the day of the match. In the morning, they were helping me with a massage and stuff, so I was able to do the match. But after the match, I knew it would suck because I was already in pain. All of the girls and everybody was so nice, and they were helping me because they saw it in my face. I'm always super excited. I was excited, but you could tell that I was in pain. I'm trying to kind of hide it and let people get worried about me. I'm like, no, I'll be fine. But people know." Then after the match, I checked everything. I went to a couple of different doctors and our doctor in AEW. So I'm not cleared for now, but I will be really soon. I'm good, don't worry. I want to be cleared, but the doctor trying to hold me back a little bit to make sure I'm 100%. They told me I will be cleared in the next couple of weeks, so I'll be fine. So certainly that match took a lot out of many people. Finally, Keith Lee is looking to make history in AEW. Keith Lee made his AEW debut just over a year ago now, February 9th, 2022, where he defeated Isaiah Cassidy to qualify for the Face of the Revolution ladder match. Lee went on to become AEW Tag Team Champions alongside Swerve Strickland later on in the year, with the duo breaking up at the end of 2022. Keith recently spoke to the Masked Men podcast, where he outlined his goals in AEW and how he hopes to be the first black AEW World Champion. He said, quote, let's be honest here. Any place or time that an individual goes to a company, it doesn't have to be sports related or physical. When you go somewhere, most people have goals or ambitions of being number one talent, that number one person, that number one mind, whatever it may be. The end goal is obviously to become AEW World Heavyweight Champion, and let's be honest, I'm really good at making history. I would be AEW's first black World Heavyweight Champion. I'm more than capable of doing that. I'm more than capable of carrying myself in a way that would be fitting and beneficial to a company. So Keith Lee there, certainly looking to make history. Whether or not he'll do it, we'll have to wait and see. But there you go, guys. It's the latest AEW news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Remember, you can join the WN365 roster by clicking that join button. Let me know your thoughts on today's AEW news stories in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.